Sometimes, the smallest kindness can change everything. It's like a ripple in a pond. You never really know how far it will go. For a waitress named Sarah, one Tuesday started like any other. But, well, it ended with a surprise that would change her life forever. It wasn't a winning lottery ticket. It wasn't a sudden inheritance. It was just a simple envelope, left on a diner table next to an empty soup bowl. Inside was a $1,000 bill. This wasn't just a tip. It was a message about seeing people for who they really are. And it all started with a simple order of grilled cheese and tomato soup. Every Tuesday, like clockwork, Emily would arrive at the diner. She walked with a quiet confidence, her white cane tapping a familiar rhythm on the worn linoleum floor. She always chose the same booth, the one by the window where the afternoon sun would warm the vinyl seat. Emily was blind, but she moved with a grace that showed she knew her world well. She never asked for help unless she truly needed it. Her presence was gentle, a small island of calm in the busy lunchtime rush. She would sit, listen to the clatter of plates and the murmur of conversations, and wait patiently. Sarah was the one who always took her order. She was a hard-working waitress, juggling multiple tables and endless coffee refills. She had a big dream of becoming a nurse. But dreams cost money, and nursing school felt miles away. Sarah was saving every penny she could, working double shifts and picking up extra hours whenever possible. Her feet ached at the end of the day, but her spirit never wavered. She saw the diner not just as a job, but as a place full of stories, full of people. And she treated every single person with kindness. When Sarah first served Emily, she noticed how other people sometimes treated her. Some would talk too loudly as if being blind meant she couldn't hear. Others would grab her arm without asking, trying to help her. Sarah did things differently. She spoke in a normal, friendly voice. She would place the menu gently on the table and say, "It's me, Sarah, the usual." She learned to describe where the water glass was by using the clock face. "Your water is at 3 o'clock, she'd say. It was a small thing, but to Emily, it meant the world. It meant she was seen as a person, not as a disability. Their weekly meetings became a quiet ritual. It was a simple exchange, but it held a special kind of warmth. Sarah didn't just see a customer, she saw a friend. She would make sure Emily's grilled cheese was perfectly golden and the soup was extra hot, just the way she liked it. She never rushed her. She let Emily take her time to enjoy her meal in peace. Sarah understood that independence was important to Emily. She respected her space and her ability to navigate the world on her own terms. Their connection wasn't built on long conversations. It was built on these small, consistent acts of respect and care. Over the months, a silent friendship grew between them. Sarah would tell Emily about her day, about a funny thing a customer said, or how tired she was. Emily was a wonderful listener. She would nod and smile, her presence comforting. She never offered advice, but somehow, just talking to her made Sarah feel better. It was as if Emily could sense the weight of Sarah's dreams and her struggles. In that noisy diner, their booth became a little sanctuary of understanding. It was a place where two very different women connected on a level that went beyond words. Sarah admired Emily's strength. Navigating a bustling city without sight required a courage that Sarah found truly inspiring. She watched Emily carefully count out her money, her fingers skillfully identifying each bill and coin. She never fumbled. She never seemed lost. Emily's quiet determination reminded Sarah to keep pushing for her own goals, no matter how hard it seemed. She saw in Emily a reflection of her own resilience. Both of them were fighting their own battles in their own ways, and they found a quiet strength in each other's presence. This connection was about seeing the person, not the circumstance. Sarah never felt pity for Emily. She felt admiration, and Emily never felt like a burden. She felt like a valued customer, a friend. Sarah made sure the salt and pepper shakers were always in the same spot. She'd clear other chairs from the aisle so Emily's path was always clear. These weren't grand gestures. They were small acts of thoughtfulness, but they showed that Sarah was paying attention. She was seeing Emily as an equal, and that was the greatest kindness of all. Then one Tuesday, Emily didn't come. Sarah kept the booth by the window open, just in case she was running late. But the lunch rush came and went, and the booth remained empty. The next Tuesday, it was the same story, and the next. Weeks passed, and with each passing Tuesday, a small knot of worry grew in Sarah's stomach. She wondered if Emily was okay. Had she moved? Was she sick? The diner felt a little less bright without her quiet, steady presence. The routine was broken, and Sarah realized just how much she had come to look forward to their simple weekly meetings. Sarah's worry was real. She didn't have Emily's last name or phone number. She had no way of checking on her. She could only hope that everything was all right. She'd find herself glancing at the door every time the bell chimed, hoping to see that familiar figure with the white cane. The other waitresses noticed the empty booth too. "Your Tuesday regular hasn't been in," one of them commented. Sarah would just nod, a sad smile on her face. The empty booth was a constant reminder of the friend she missed. It showed her how much a simple human connection could mean. Then, after almost a month of silence, the bell on the diner door chimed on a Tuesday afternoon. And there she was, Emily. A wave of relief washed over Sarah, so strong it almost brought tears to her eyes. She looked just the same, calm and composed. Sarah rushed over, a huge smile spreading across her face. "Emily, it is so good to see you." "I was so worried," she said, her voice full of genuine happiness. Emily smiled back, a warm, knowing smile. "It's good to be back, Sarah," she replied softly. The diner suddenly felt whole again. Emily ordered her usual grilled cheese and tomato soup. As she ate, she and Sarah chatted a little more than usual. When she was finished, Sarah came to clear the table. Emily stopped her. "Sarah, wait," she said, and she reached into her bag and pulled out a plain white envelope. She placed it on the table. "This is for you," she said. Sarah looked at the envelope, confused. "What is this?" she asked. "Just to thank you," Emily replied. "Open it later." Before Sarah could say another word, Emily stood up, tapped her way to the door, and was gone, leaving the envelope sitting on the table. Later that day, after her shift ended, Sarah finally opened the envelope. Her hands trembled slightly as she pulled out the contents. Inside was a crisp $1,000 bill and a small note, written in beautiful, neat braille and also in print. Sarah read the printed words, her eyes widening with disbelief. The note was simple. It said, "Thank you for seeing me. Not for seeing a blind girl, but for just seeing me. You never made me feel like a burden. You made me feel like a person. I hope this helps you with your dream. The world needs more people like you." Tears streamed down Sarah's face. It wasn't just about the money. Though the $1,000 was the exact amount she needed for her first semester of nursing school tuition. It was about the words. It was the validation that her small acts of kindness had mattered so much to someone. She had simply treated Emily with the dignity and respect that everyone deserves. And in return, Emily had given her the key to her future. It was a powerful lesson. Kindness isn't about big, heroic acts. It's about the small, everyday choices we make to see and value the people around us. That gift changed the course of Sarah's life. She enrolled in nursing school the very next semester. It was hard work, full of long nights studying and stressful exams, but she never gave up. Whenever she felt like quitting, she would think of Emily. She would remember the quiet strength in her friend and the incredible generosity that came from a place of pure gratitude. That $1,000 wasn't just money, it was fuel. It was a vote of confidence. It was a reminder that she was on the right path and that her dream of helping others was worth fighting for. Years later, Sarah became a nurse. She was known for her incredible compassion and patience, especially with her most vulnerable patients. One day, an elderly man in the hospital was feeling scared and alone. Sarah sat with him, held his hand, and just listened, long after her shift had ended. She saw a person, not just a patient. She was passing on the gift Emily had given her. Because some gifts are more than just money. They are gifts of purpose. They are the ripples of kindness that travel further than we can ever imagine, changing lives along the way.